Hey everyone, what is going on? This video, I got this new front valve cover. This here is obviously a Myvec 3.8 V6. You know, it's a 6G75 valve cover. And what's nice about it is it's aluminum. This one was obviously used, needs cleaned up. And obviously, I don't have a 3.8, so I'm going to be shaving it a little bit. My plan is to shave off Myvec and shave off in between the little center here of the 8 to make it look like 3.0. And then I think if I can get it smooth enough, I'll just coat it in like a red like this. If I can't get it perfect, I'll wrinkle coat it, and then I'm going to sand the letters and clear it. So obviously I have new gaskets for that. I got to stop by Mitsubishi and get like the little like weird hardware washer things. And to shave it, what I'm going to use my Dremel here. I'm going to make some space, but I'm going to use my Dremel here. I've got, I got a grinding wheel to get most of it down, and then I'm just going to go through with some sanding wheels. And if that doesn't get it smooth enough, I'll hit it with like just regular sandpaper and like a block and try to get it smooth as I can. That's the nice thing about the 6G engines, is that you can swap the valve covers. The 6G73, all of them, they're mostly interchangeable. Well, forward. You can't really put a 3 liter or a 2.5 on a 3.8 because of the Myvec. But the only issue I'm going to have is, see right here, this is actually attached to the valve cover because it's steel. So that's not going to be there, so I may not run a cam cover, or I may have to modify it. But the whole reason that I'm doing this is because I keep having oil leak issues with the older stamped steel style. So I'm going to try to clean that one up and make it work. Should look pretty nice. Got to get a couple pieces for it. But I'm going to start sanding on it, and I'll bring you up to speed when I get there. So, saw me grinding away with my Dremel on this valve cover, and I'm almost done making the O here, and I was just testing sanding the letters to see how they'd look with red, and I got this all where it said Myvec all shaved down really well, and all I used was a Dremel and like a few of these grinding discs, and just took my time going across like you saw in that little clip. So I stopped at the Mitsubishi dealership today, ordered, this one had little rings, little like O-rings here. It was only had 2 of them when it came, so I ordered all new ones. Actually, there's that one there. No, so there's residue of what one was there. So went ahead and ordered all new little washers, all 6 of those, and I ordered I ordered the plastic piece that would cover the plugs and everything and go up to the plenum, and that wasn't too pricey. That'll be in a few days. I got to clean this up, sand it down. I bought some stuff. Let me show you it real quick. Bought some 320 grit, some 600 grit. I bought, there's the grease and wax remover. scuff pad, the high temp clear, the high temp red, and where's it at? High temp primer. So I've got to finish that 0 out, and then I'm going to go ahead, clean it up, scuff it up, and I think all this stuff here from Pep Boys was like 40 bucks. All the paint and everything was all just 40 bucks. So I'm going to finish up that O, and then I'll get to cleaning and painting. Not sure how much of that I'll show you. I'll probably do it in little bits of stages, but got it all cleaned up best I can. Wax remover, brake clean, scuffed. Now for primer. Got some primer on it. Hopefully we'll get a couple coats on before we go red. Got 2 coats of primer on here. Let's grab the red. Got the first coat of red on there. Go from there. Alright, so sorry this has been being filmed back and forth between my camera and my phone, but it's been 2 days. This guy is nice and hardened with the primer and red paint and all that was done. So now I'm going to do, sorry for the noise, let me get my board. We are going to try to sand the tops here. So I'm gonna try the 600 grit first to see how it works. I got this nice big 5-gallon painter stick, which is nice and straight. I should tape this off, but I'm just gonna go ahead and sand this real quick. I'm just going to wrap it around like that and carefully just try to sand away the top layer here. So let me get at it. So the 600, barely making a dent. I'm gonna go with 320 first and then hit it with the 600. So got the letters all sanded down. They look decent, but I scuffed it a little bit. Should have had some painter's tape. I'm going to have to touch this up before I clear it. So let me fix what I messed up here. So got that all touched up. Once it dries a little bit, we'll hit it with a coat of clear or 2 and should be good to go. There it is. Sanded, painted, cleared, all done. Just needs to dry. So I already got it cleared, sanded, just needs to dry. Once it dries, it's going to go in the car. Not sure if I'm going to use any Honda Bond. Do have a brand new gasket. Little bit of Honda Bond probably won't hurt. Got new gaskets. I did pick up the plastic piece that covers, you know, where normally there'd be coil packs, but you know, that'll sit on there. This is brand new, straight from the dealer. Bunch of new little O-rings for the hardware, and then we should be good to go. And may have to move this little hook, you know, from lifting the engine. I'll still use this oil cap, and then, you know, the cover should sit somewhere in here. The valve cover will sit up a little bit higher, but it'll be right in here. The only thing I do not have is a new breather for that valve cover, because that one threads in and this side pushes in from the side, and I want to use the one that threads in. And the one that was on that valve cover seam, and the PCV valve that was on that valve cover seems to stick, so I'm just going to order one offline real quick, and once that hardens up I can put it on, and hopefully we have no more oil leaks. That should be the last piece I need for the car, besides a fitting for my power steering reservoir. Currently decided not to run the Mishimoto one. I just want to find the right size adapter, which I just ordered, so that it doesn't leak. And I'm just going to leave the one that's in there and save the Mishimoto one for another day, because I want to start driving this thing, and the valve cover is really the only thing stopping me. So that's going to dry. I'm going to put it on. I'm going to order the PCV valve for that, and then next clip we're going to throw it on. Time to say goodbye to the blue and black old steel style one. Get the new guy on there. But got my 10 mil. So go ahead and pop all these off. It's only 6 bolts. I already got the plug wires out. I'll pop them off, get that, you know, tacked up and in, and then I'll be right back. So I found why it leaks so bad. Part of that gasket is missing. I guess it got pinched in and then just slipped off and got notched off and was just sitting in there with the. I literally found it just sitting in here, like in here with the rockers. So that's good to know that it wasn't completely bad. So I'm gonna clean up around here, clean up the base of that, tiny little bit of that, and get it on there. I also got to fish one of my bolts out down by the radiator, so fun. Alright, so back in the garage again. Don't remember where I left off, but ran into 2 little issues. First is the gasket I had sitting here is for the steel style valve covers. It's a little bit thicker, it's a little bit different, so it doesn't fit the same. So got this one here, Victor Renz one, or Molly, can't remember. It says Victor Renz, but when I ordered it said Molly. And had to go to the auto parts store and get some longer bolts. Got like the zinc ones. Had to get them a little bit longer because the aluminum's a little bit thicker, so I had to get longer bolts. So I got the flange ones. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap out the gaskets. I'm gonna change them all now on the front. I mean the tube seals. I'm gonna do the tube seals with the one that came with the kit, and I'm gonna put the valve cover on and go from there. So get this opened up. I left it kind of mocked up, and that's basically where I'm at. So, and they're all the bolts are all M6 1.0 thread. I got a 25 mil long for here, and just 20 for here, because I could have just reused the old valve cover ones, but I wanted them all to be nice and shiny and new. And I do have new seals, or the new little rubber, metal, plastic washers that go on here. So I'm gonna put everything together, and I'll be right back. New tube seals on, new gasket in the valve cover. I decided not to use the Honda Bond. I want to try it without it, since this is a good, higher quality gasket, and everything's nice and clean and fresh, and I'm just going to put it on this way, and if it does leak, I'll deal with it then. I don't, it doesn't call for it normally, so I want to try to do it the right way. Honda Bond wouldn't hurt, but I just really want to try to do it without it, just so that in the future, if I have to take it off, it's not, on there and I got to scrape it off. So I'm going to put the valve cover on now. So everything's hooked up. I'm going to do a test start now. I had to pull on this hose and fight it to get it in place, because it's just a little bit short, and the angle of that little 90 there is different between the steel and the aluminum. So everything's tightened down. I want to make sure it starts and runs before I throw that cover on. So I'm gonna grab my keys real quick. We'll fire it up. For some reason. opened. That's not a big deal. I may fix that at some point, but for now, it's okay. There it is, fully installed, aluminum, shaved, valve cover, new gaskets, new hardware, fits perfectly on the 3-liter. I think that came out really well. I think I'll have better results than the stamped steel one. And ideally I should powder coat this valve cover. Paint's alright. I chipped it and I tried to touch it up right here while I was putting this hose back here on the breather. But everything is now on, so all I gotta do is drive it. And now this car should be done. Just some cleanup and should be done. Alright, so valve cover's on, completely done. I thought the car was done, but as I'm sitting here, I noticed that this power steering down here that I thought I fixed all the fittings is now dripping. So that's not cool. I thought they were all sealed up. Thought this was all done. But as you can see, it's leaking fluid. I'm not going to film that. That just needs done on its own. So hopefully this video is an okay length so everyone watches it. And hopefully you liked the whole process. So like and subscribe. Till next time.